Most people think high performers have superhuman willpower, but the truth is actually much more unfair. What if I told you that the top 1% of humans aren't working harder? They're just using a biological cheat code to override a brain that's still stuck in the Stone Age? We live in a world that demands 21st century focus from a brain designed for prehistoric survival, and the 1% focus system is how you bridge that gap. Here's the reality. Your brain isn't a truth-seeking machine. It's a pattern-matching engine that prioritizes survival over your to-do list. We spend our days dreaming about success, but when it's time to work, we find ourselves mindlessly scrolling or jumping between 20 different tabs. Listen, it's not that you lack discipline, it's that your biology is currently winning the war against your intentions. The calorie tax of focus. To understand the 1% system, we have to look at the hardware costs of thinking. Your brain represents only about 2% of your body weight, but it burns a massive 20% of your daily calories just to keep you functioning. Because thinking is so expensive, your brain has evolved to be evolutionarily efficient, or what we call lazy. It naturally wants to switch tasks because staying focused on a single difficult problem is a high-energy risk. The top 1% don't fight this energy tax, they manage it. They realize that managing time is a fool's errand because your energy isn't linear, it's a wave. While 90% of people try to hustle through their natural energy dips, usually between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m., high performers use these cycles to their advantage. They understand that if you try to force logic when your brain is in power save mode, you're just spinning your wheels. The 90-minute rhythm. The core of the 1% system is the 90-minute block. Your brain naturally operates in cycles of focus and recovery known as ultradian rhythms. Most people treat their time as one giant, overwhelming block, which leads to decision fatigue, the feeling that you simply cannot make one more choice. By the time the evening rolls around, your ability to choose the hard task over the easy scroll is completely exhausted. The 1% override this by eliminating the decision entirely. They design their environment so that they don't have to rely on willpower, which is a finite resource that tires like a muscle. They set up analog hours where devices are physically moved to another room, turning their environment into a sanctuary rather than a satellite office. The math of the 1%. We often overestimate what we can do in a day but drastically underestimate what we can do in a year. This is the secret of the compound effect. If you improve your focus by just 1% every single day, you aren't just 3.6 times better by next year. The math shows you will be 37 times better. Success isn't about a massive 47-step morning routine. It's about these tiny, almost invisible choices. It's about standing up for 60 seconds every half hour or spending 2 minutes resetting your physical space between tasks. These micro-habits act like the first domino, signaling to your brain that the transition into deep work has begun. The 90-second biological override. When you feel the urge to check your phone or switch tasks, that's not you talking, it's a chemical wave. Science shows that the physiological lifespan of an emotion or an urge is exactly 90 seconds. When an urge is triggered, your body releases a surge of chemicals that clear your system in a minute and a half, unless you feed them with a story. The 1% focus system uses the 90-second rule. When the distraction hits, you don't fight it, you observe it. You count to 90, breathe, and feel the intensity of that urge fade as the chemicals are flushed away. Once you realize that your urges are just temporary weather systems, they lose their power to move your hands toward the distraction. Third-person psychology. Another cheat code used by high performers is psychological distancing. Research from Michigan State University shows that simply changing "I" to your own name in your internal dialogue can significantly reduce anxiety and improve focus. Instead of saying, "I can't focus on this report," you say, "Peter's feeling distracted right now, but Peter has handled difficult tasks before." This shift activates the prefrontal cortex, the wise advisor of your brain, rather than the emotional limbic system that just wants a dopamine hit. By talking to yourself like a coach, you access the wisdom you'd normally give to a friend, overriding your own internal panic. Designing your 30,000 days. At the end of the day, your life is a finite resource. A human being lives for about 30,000 days. If you are 30 years old, you've already spent 11,000 of them, and you can't get them back. Someday is the most dangerous word in the English language because it tricks you into thinking your time is infinite. The 1% focus system isn't about working until you burn out. It's about making your time count so you can actually live. It's about moving from busy work to priority work. High performers use the two-list strategy. They write down everything they want to achieve, circle the top three, and then ruthlessly avoid the rest at all costs. Your brain is a tool, not a master. When you stop judging your laziness and start understanding the biological rhythms of your energy, you stop being a victim of your prehistoric hardwiring. You become the architect of your own focus. Don't try to change your whole life tonight. Just pick 1% improvement. Maybe it's turning off your phone 1 hour before bed, or maybe it's using the 90-second rule next time you feel an urge to procrastinate. If you want to dive deeper into these systems and connect with a community that's done with the hustle and ready for intent, hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments, what is the one distraction that's been stealing your energy and how will you outsmart it today? Your 30,000 days are ticking. Don't just spend them, invest them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.